This is a really complicated and sensitive operation to get these passengers off the boat safely, of course, while also keeping them in isolation. It's something that the Spanish authorities have continued to address. There is even protests on the Canary Islands against the boat docking, so you can understand just how sensitive of an issue it is. Now, Spanish authorities say they have an ironclad system.
This is a military hospital, and in the very last floor of the building, they have a high-level isolation unit.
This is a virus that usually is not transmissible from person to person, but this may be a distinctive Andes strain, a South American strain that can, on occasion, be transmitted from person to person. These people are being cautioned to be careful themselves, not to get into crowded environments, so that should they become sick, they won't transmit it.
YouTube, welcome back, Wizzle Gang, to another episode of Tay Wizzle Reactions. We on our way to 200 subscribers. I appreciate everybody for tapping into the channel, subscribing, commenting, showing love. If you like the content and you're new to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe and like button so you can be notified when I drop a video or updating you on the old one. Don't forget that I go live on Twitch just about every day at 5 p.m. except for Saturdays, but this Saturday will be an exception. And if you got clips that you want to send me, don't forget to put them down in the X community. Link will be down in the description. Today, we is reacting to a crazy and potential epidemic called, well, the video is called HANTAVIRUS now in 9 countries. What doctors know so far. And already I'm seeing some inconsistencies in the information, so I definitely want to dive into this because we all need to prepare for this scare just in case it do end up being another global epidemic. And I know they saying that it's not, but still the inconsistencies that I'm hearing, I don't trust it, because for one, they saying that it's not transmittable from person to person, but then they saying, all right, this Andes strain is transmissible to person, but it's like under certain conditions, so I don't understand, I don't know. And this is strictly from CNN, so if you know, you know, but let's get into it.
Selma, this cruise ship is expected to dock in the Canary Islands this weekend. What exactly is going to happen?
This is a really complicated and sensitive operation to get these passengers off the boat safely, of course, while also keeping them in isolation. It's something that the Spanish authorities have continued to address. There is even protests on the Canary Islands against the boat docking, so you can understand just how sensitive of an issue it is. Now, Spanish authorities say they have an ironclad system in place. It's going to be a closed circuit loop. There are medical facilities and medical personnel waiting to provide treatment to those who need it, waiting to provide any support that may be needed. They're going to have special entrances to enter those medical facilities that are specifically prepared for these passengers. They will all be seen, treated if they are needed to be treated. And then the other element to this, the part 2 of this, if you will, is repatriating those citizens to their individual countries. You have more than 20 different countries among more than 140 people. So Spanish authorities right now are speaking to each of these individual nations to figure out what their plans are for bringing their citizens home. Let me give you the UK as an example because they're monitoring several cases. They have 3 suspected cases right now that they're monitoring. One is in a hospital in Johannesburg, one is a hospital in the Netherlands, one is on an island, a remote island in the Atlantic, and then they're dealing with several other Britons who are on board that ship. They're speaking with Spanish authorities about providing specialist flights in order to evacuate them. And then once they arrive here in the UK, they're going to be asked to isolate for 45 days. But this is a mammoth operation and a very complex mission.
It certainly is. Selma Abdelaziz, thank you so much. And let's go live now to CNN's Pal Mascara in Madrid. Pal, what are Spanish authorities saying about this?
So they already got people off the boat from what I was hearing, I seen people commenting about this saying, don't let them off the boat. But it looks like they already got some people off the boats.
Hantavirus outbreak ahead of the cruise ship docking.
Well, Pamela, they have been trying over the last hours to reassure the local population that there is no risk of contagion, or that at least is very low. A message they have been also sharing with the regional authorities that they have opposed of the ship docking into the port of Granadilla de Abona. And actually, to demonstrate that everything is going to happen safely, they have finally defined the protocol on which they are going to transfer all the passengers from the boat to the respective countries. In the case of the 14 Spanish people that are on board of the cruise ship, they're going to be taken here to the Spanish capital, and actually they're going to be moved to the hospital that you can see here behind me. This is a military hospital, and in the very last floor of the building they have a high-level isolation unit that they are going to use in case that they detect any symptomatic case between these 14 people that are going to get here. So far, none of the passengers or crew members that are on board of the MV Hantavirus is symptomatic. All of them are asymptomatic, but the authorities have confirmed a few hours ago that there's the first suspected hantavirus case in the country. It has been reported in Alicante, in eastern Spain. It is a person that reportedly shown some symptoms that were consistent with hantavirus. They have performed a PCR test and they are now waiting for results, Pamela.
And see, that's why people were saying don't let them off the boat yet, because just because they asymptomatic, y'all just assumed, okay, they all right. So we're going to let them back into their country, but and we're just going to watch them. Some of them we're going to send to a hospital. What I don't understand is why they don't have certain facilities in preparation for events like this, like a boat cruise that hosts everybody from around the world. Why don't they have medical facilities basically where they take off and where they dock back at, just in case like something like this happen and an outbreak happens on a cruise? Alright, now people then got screened before they got on the ship, so they probably will be aware that something like this is going to happen, or just in case something occur on the ship, then they should have a facility at the end of the cruise that screens people, that ensures that they're okay before they go back into society. And that'll eliminate people from being stuck at sea.
All right, Pal Mosquera, thank you so much. And let's head to Buenos Aires, Argentina, where CNN's Ivan Perez Sarmenti is standing by. Ivan, it's still not clear how this outbreak started, but the WHO is looking at whether the Dutch couple who died were infected while sightseeing in Argentina before that cruise. What more can you tell us about that?
See what I'm saying?
Hi, Pamela. And the Argentine Ministry of Health is currently reconstructing the route taken by the couple identified as the index case of this hantavirus outbreak. Investigators are working to pinpoint the exact origin of the infection. Let's remember that the ship set sail from Ushuaia, the southernmost city in the world, on April the 1st. However, authorities have not yet confirmed that the contagion occurred within Argentina. The virus has an incubation period of 1 to 8 weeks, and the couple had recently traveled through other Latin American countries before arriving in the south. Since hantavirus in Argentina typically develops in specific rural zones, the leading hypothesis is that the passengers may have contracted the virus elsewhere, and the infection was only discovered once the ship was at sea. Ushuaia has a population of about 80,000 and it's the capital of Tierra del Fuego province, an island at the southern tip of the continent separated from the mainland. According to authorities, there has never been a reported case of hantavirus in the province. Because of this, the local residents we spoke with are highly surprised by the news. In a small community like this, they say word of such a case would have spread quickly. Most infections occur primarily through the inhalation of viral particles from the feces, urine, and saliva or infected rodents. However, the World Health Organization confirmed that the variant infecting the cruise passenger corresponds to the Andes strain, the only known to be transmitted from person to person, which circulates here in Argentina and Chile. And until now, the Ministry of Health reports 24 cases so far in 2026 and 101 during the latest epidemiological campaign, which ran from June to June a year. This figure is nearly double the 57 cases reported in the previous period.
Dr. Schaffner, thanks for being here. So the World Health Organization is downplaying that hantavirus is similar at all to COVID. Listen to what one official said earlier today.
Downplaying it.
This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship. There's a confined area. We have 5 confirmed cases so far. We completely understand why these questions are coming, but this is not the same situation we were in 6 years ago. It doesn't spread the same way like coronaviruses do. It's very different.
So, Doctor, what is your takeaway here? How contagious is this?
Well,
How's it confined if they said they got a reported case in Spain?
think, Pamela, that this is indeed a rather contained phenomenon, and it will not provide a COVID-like epidemic that went global as COVID virus did. This is a virus that usually is not transmissible from person to person, but this may be a distinctive Andes strain, a South American strain, that can, on occasion, be transmitted from person to person. But so far, it's a very confined circumstance to the passengers on this cruise ship. Those who have been disembarked are being watched by public health authorities in their home countries.
So people was
Right,
already
because
off the ship.
the last I read, it was announced by a Dutch official that nearly 40 people disembarked after the one passenger died and it became clear there was a virus. And so what is your concern in terms of tracing and going back and seeing who all those people came into contact with? And do you have concern that this virus could mutate and become more contagious?
Well, as to mutation, I don't think we have to go there. There's no indication that this is a rapidly mutating virus. This is another instance that emphasizes the importance of global public health, the World Health Organization, and then working with national public health authorities. They're following these disembarked patients very, very carefully. And I shouldn't call them patients, they're persons. They're healthy. At the moment, none of these folks who have disembarked have become ill. So far, so good.
See, yeah, bro, I'm starting to feel like they playing in our face, and they definitely downplaying this. Because which one is it? Is it contained, or do y'all think y'all got it under control? First of all, why would y'all disembark 40 people after a person have died? Second of all, y'all not even 100% sure that the 40 people that disembark isn't gonna become ill. So, bro, I advise everybody to go back to their face mask, look at their face mask or gas mask, because, bro, these people are not even sure, and right now you are taking a risk. Better safe than sorry. I would assume that these people want you to get sick and the worst happen.
What is your concern, though, that the incubation period is up to 8 weeks? I believe it's 1 to 8 weeks.
Well, it can get as late as 8 weeks, as long as 8 weeks. But again, the local health authorities can watch this very carefully. These people are being cautioned to be careful themselves, not to get into crowded environments, so that should they become sick, they won't transmit it. And remember, this is a virus, although it can be transmitted from person to person, it doesn't do so readily.
So the World Health Organization says that 2 top epidemic experts, or 2 Dutch infectious diseases experts, I should say, were joining the ship. In your view, has this outbreak been handled appropriately so far?
I think so far, very, very well. Very unusual diagnosis was actually made while the people were at sea, and then the passengers were put into isolation while at sea in order to prevent further, if any, person-to-person transmission. Local health authorities have been notified of everyone who disembarked. Those people are being monitored carefully. So I think this is an example of international collaboration dealing with what we trust will be a confined circumstance. So far, so good.
So far, so good. We hope it stays that way. Of course, we don't want to be an alarmist, but I think a lot of people have curiosity about this. But why would the ship allow nearly 40 people to disembark when you have this virus? Was that a good idea?
Well, at the time they disembarked, I don't think they were clear about what this infection was, that it was contagious. And so this was a developing story at the time. These people who disembarked probably signed up for only part of the cruise.
But at what point did the one person die, though? Because they did mention that one person died before they disembarked. She said one person died before the 40 people disembarked. So even if y'all didn't know what type of virus it was, y'all know the caliber of what potential damage it causes because the person died. And that's all the more reason right there to keep people in quarantine. Why would you possibly let people go not knowing if they're going to get sick or not? Then you saying, oh, it's rare occasion that this can transmit from person to person, but what occasion is that? And have those conditions been met by the 40 people that have been disembarked?
There were American passengers on that ship who have disembarked and are currently being monitored for symptoms in states across the country. They remain asymptomatic at this time, we're told. Why do you think Americans have only heard from state-level health officials and not the HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or anyone from the CDC about this yet? Is that appropriate for this stage?
Yeah, I would be speculating if I knew why we haven't heard from CDC or its parent agency, HHS. We do know that those agencies have been decimated by both the funding cuts and the staffing cuts in the last year, including the section at CDC that's responsible for cruise ship screening, hygiene, and care of patients who might have contracted an infection on those vessels. So I don't think it's surprising, sadly, that we haven't heard. Again, state and local health authorities have also been affected by some of these cuts. So I really hope that everybody can continue to step into the breach. There is a big information gap from the federal government, and we need to really pay attention. The follow-up of the patients, I will just mention, the passengers who are at the States, a little bit complicated because one of the things we've been hearing and talking about is that the incubation period of this virus, remember that's the time from when you get infected to the time that you show symptoms, can be as long as 7 weeks. In the outbreak involving the Andes virus in Argentina, it didn't really seem to be that long. That was 2018 to 2019, around a week or two. So even though we're technically concerned for a long period where people might show symptoms, hopefully if people do get sick, and I fervently hope they don't because this is not a good disease, they will evidence those symptoms within the first couple of weeks.
So there are people making comparisons between this situation and the early spread of...
He basically was asking her, like, people is, well, not asking her, but he telling her, like, people see relation and similarities between this and COVID. That's basically what happened the first time. They let people back into the country or open the country up or something like that. I can't remember. And then next thing you know, everybody was getting sick. And I hope it's not, but it looks like it's about to be a repeat of it. I personally think they handling this shit poor. If you want to contain the outbreak, all the people that's suspected of being infected, quarantine them. They really downplaying it because they like, oh, well, we don't think they're going to get sick. But the incubation period is 8 weeks. So you got to watch them for roughly 2 months before you can decide if they're going to get sick or not. And basically everybody that contract this Andes strain is asymptomatic. So you're not going to show symptoms right away. And they talk about, oh yeah, we urge people to do this and do that. But people still got to go to work and do other things. And I personally want to know, like, what they consider keeping an eye on the person. Because if they handling it this poor and then try to pull a couple of our eyes and telling us, well, this is perfectly contained, then I don't trust nothing that they say. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, because this is crazy. And I advise everybody to go stock up on their masks and all of their health products. Stay away from large areas and crowds. Do not be in people's face or let people get in your face. And definitely don't be touching everybody or letting everybody just touch you. Because contact is one of the main ways to pass germs. Definitely be careful if you live in these states right here, because these is the ones where confirmed cases was found. And these are the states right here where the people from the ship disembarked at. And if you notice, 3 states, California, Texas, and Georgia, is definitely one of the main attractions for like tourists across the United States. Like, a lot of people go there. But again, let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Do you think this could be potentially another epidemic? I, for one, think it got the potential to be worse, because people was dying from COVID, but not at this rate. And protect yourself, because it look like the government not going to protect us. If you made it this far in the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you can be notified when I drop a video, or be notified when I update you on the old one. I go live on Twitch every day, twitch.tv/TWizzleTV at 5 p.m. except for Saturdays, but this Saturday I will be live. If you got any clips or media that you want to send me, put it in the X community down. The link is in the description. Also, don't forget to go check out the website, The Urban Experience, at www.thaturbanexperience.com, where we offer a wide variety of products, including jewelry, handcrafted from 100% pure copper. And for all your skincare needs, we do carry body butters. Just released 2 new flavors, cotton candy and strawberry. For all my supporters out there that like to fuck with the stream, don't forget that we got the merch where you can get these colors available, or you can request your own. And for no extra charge, you can get anything you want to put on the brim of your hat. Last but not least, don't forget to check out the things that we offer for absolutely free, including Xbox Series X and PS5 games. And while you're at it, don't forget to join our mailing list, which is also free, and you get a 10% discount code as soon as you subscribe. Again, thank you to everybody that's been tapping into the website and showing love. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. We're on our way to 200 subscribers. Thanks to you all. I really appreciate everybody tapping into the channel. It really means a lot to me. This has been another episode of TWizzle Reactions. I'm going to see y'all on the next video. Thank you for watching.